Greetings everyone. Now you might be wondering, huh? You became a gaming channel? Well no. This is a quick video to feed you guys while I work on the Fire Force video, since it's taking much longer than I expected it to be. So I might as well talk about a series I love, Pikmin. This video will be a lot different than my usual reviews. It will be less highly edited and more of a vlog than anything else. So you can put this video on the background. Also, this won't be the most detailed review of these games. If you want something with more meat behind it, then I recommend Arlo's review of Pikmin 1, where he goes into more detail. Leave a like on his video and sub to his channel. He does some good stuff. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with these games, let me give you a rundown. Pikmin is a video game series where you can control an army of little creatures, the Pikmin, to go and collect items and carry them back to your ship. But there are various challenges and obstacles to overcome, such as the enemies you have to face and the environment you must traverse. It's a series with a lot of unique and fun, diverse gameplay, which we'll get into right now. So let's proceed. The game that started it all, the original Pikmin. The game follows Captain Olimar, a delivery man who is on his way home, but he's cut short after being hit by a meteorite, and he crashes on an unknown planet. When he wakes up, he sees his ship has broken apart, and now he has to find all the parts in 30 days, or he'll run out of supplies and die. Yeah, pretty hardcore for a PG-rated game, huh? But luckily, he has help from a local species on the planet, the Pikmin, who he can control with the power of his whistle. So now, with his new adorable army, Olimar can sit out and go find the parts he needs to get to go home. The gameplay is similar to an RTS game. You control an army, each type of unit has different abilities and purposes. But how Pikmin sets it apart from other games in the genre is how you build your army and your objective. In other RTS games, you set up an economy to build up your forces and go fight the opposing team, whether it be multiplayer or story mode. But in Pikmin it works differently. You have to build up your armies by grounding flower pellets and bring them back to your base, or by killing the enemies and using their corpses as a resource. And the mission isn't to dominate each section you're in. Collect the parts that are needed, while also accounting for whatever threats you will face in the area. But also, some parts can only be grabbed later on since you will need a particular Pikmin for the situation, i.e. blue Pikmin for situations involving water, or red Pikmin for fire-based situations. So the game is mostly non-linear, aside from certain areas being locked out until you get a certain amount of parts, and a time limit of 30 days to grab all the parts needed. If you don't get your key part, and at least 24 other materials, well, oof. The time limit is really the only flaw of this game, since it might make you rush to get the other parts, and make you not enjoy the experience as much since you'll be stressing a lot. If you're experienced with the game, then you likely won't have this issue, but it might be a problem for new players. But still, on all ends, the game is amazing and I highly recommend it. Final score, 9 out of 10. Now we get to the sequel and my favorite game in the series, Pikmin 2. The game picks up where we left off in 1, where Olimar escapes and returns to his homeworld. But to his shock, it turns out the company he worked for is going under since they lost an important item, which because of its high value, caused the company to go into bankruptcy. So he's sent back to the planet to grab some treasure and clear out the debts. This time, he's joined by his co-worker, Louie, who is less of an explorer and more of a eater. Just like the last game, the gameplay is incredibly fun and addicting, but they managed to add even more to it with 2 new Pikmin, the purple and white Pikmin, which adds more gameplay potential. As you know, you can do more strategy with them, especially with the addition of Louie, helping out Olimar on his mission to save the company and acting as another playable character in the game. With the power to split up your forces and get tasks done faster, the game really ups the best qualities from the first game, but changes some things to make it more unique, such as the removal of the time limit of 30 days so you don't have to worry about rushing to finish the tasks and allow yourself to enjoy the scenery and have fun. The best addition to Pikmin 2 is the cave system, where you can jump into the caves to grab more treasure and pay off your debts. However, it should be noted you are limited to the Pikmin you bring with you, so be careful you don't lose too many of them because you can't grab more, aside from the Bulbmin. But thankfully, you can do the caves multiple times, so you don't need to rush yourself. However, one thing to know about this game, it's the hardest in the series. The bosses are much more threatening, and even the non-bosses too, like the wandering boulders. Ugh. But in a way, the hard difficulty kind of makes it more rewarding when you finish a task, or beat a hard enemy. And it's not a bullshit level of hard. You just have to learn to play the game properly and become adaptable to whatever the game throws at you. Overall, the game is tough, but fun once you get into it. Taking the best of the first game and adding more amazing features can create what I think is the best game in the series. Final score, 10 out of 10. And now for the last game in the series, until 4 comes out, Pikmin 3. This time we follow a new cast of characters, Alf, Brittany, and Charlie. who are on a mission to gather food for their planet, which is experiencing a massive famine. But in Pikmin fashion, they get separated and they have to go and find each other while also trying to find Captain Olimar, who has returned to the planet but has disappeared. And it's up to you, the player, to gather the fruit needed to save the gang's planet while also trying to find Captain Olimar. Okay, I don't know if this opinion is a hot take, but I'm gonna say it. Pikmin 3 is my least favorite game in the series, due to one thing only, the difficulty. I was playing this game in a harder mode, but it just felt too easy to me, as I barely lost any Pikmin and breezed through the puzzles for most of the game. Even the Kaiju Beast battle was kind of a walk in the park for me. The game only got really intense for me when I fought Golden Boy here, where he actually killed a large chunk of my army. Kind of a sobering experience, not gonna lie. Don't get me wrong, I think this game is still very good. The gameplay is still incredibly fun, the graphics are a beauty, the new Pikmin add more dynamics to the gameplay, and the characters are all fun to watch interacting with each other. It's just not as good as Pikmin 1 or 2, but still worthy entering the series. Final score? 8 out of 10. Overall, this series is solid. With investing gameplay, fun characters, and a bright and colorful art style, Pikmin is a wonderful series with a lot to offer. Each game brings something new to the table, which helps keep the series innovative while still retaining the core elements of why the series worked in the first place. Overall, I would recommend this series to anyone who's looking for a challenging but fun time. Even if you aren't a fan of RTSs, I promise you won't be disappointed, and you'll be happy you gave these little guys a chance. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If any of you guys have feedback about this video and how I review games, please tell me. I do want to try and review more games, but I recognize I'm still a bit green at examining this medium. So feel free to comment, and I will do my best to improve. Take care and have a good day.